Hey guys, so today we just put in a radiator, so this is another problem that affects the little VW owners. This is the 2.0 Beetle, but pretty much the cooling systems are going to remain pretty much the same. And unfortunately, this does not have a bleeder valve, but it does have an access plug that's on the top of the heater line, as well as on your return line right here. You can use this as a siphoning hose. So I'm going to go ahead. I just took it off right here, your expansion there. So anyway, so basically the first thing that I do is I take this plug out right here, which is located right here. This is with the car ice cold. Do not do this with the car hot. It will burn the living piss out of you. Or crap. Sorry, I just got the dirty look. So anyway, you pull this out. There's a little horseshoe clip. Can I see the horseshoe clip real quick?
Show them the horseshoe.
I got you right here. Keep it right here. All this does, the horseship editor. What's the right word?
Horseshoe?
The horseshoe. There we go. The horseshoe clip goes across it. It just pops out, and you'll see it right here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is take that out. Put the clip here on the side. Remember, it's got to be ice cold. And you want a 50-50 solution of radiator fluid, because the boiling point on regular water is a lot lower than it is for radiator fluid, if you're getting a lot of bubbling or whatever. Alright, put it on pause. Let me get some water. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add coolant right here. And I'm going to let the camera show you what I'm looking at over here. Now with this hole out right here, the hole out with the plug out, and camera girl, will you be so nice to let me know when you start seeing coolant come out of there?
Yes,
go ahead and aim on the coolant coming out. As interesting as it is, and you kind of want to do this slow because you don't want a ton of water, coolant, whatever, getting on the ground. So I'm going to slow down and see where that ends up. Where are we at?
No water yet.
No water yet.
Up, just starting to trickle in, and I mean trickle.
Okay.
Okay, it's coming up. Got air. There, we are at the top. It's definitely got air. We had a big air bubble in there. It's still bubbling.
Now, guys, I'm going to point out right here, you can take this off and pull that hose upwards. And
show them the hose.
Yeah, this hose right here. You can pull that hose off, pull it upwards if you're having an issue getting your radiator full. And just do that and plug it back on. But right now, it looks like it wants to, it looks like it's there. So you can either at this point, we're going to put the plug back in it because we know that there's no air there at the moment. And by the way, make sure your heater is in the heat position and on inside the car.
Okay, plug is back on.
Alright. Now,
horseshoe clip installed.
if you'd like, if you're a country boy, you can just turn around and start siphoning out, but since she's here and I don't want this for living forever on the video, I'm going to show you a different way to siphon it out. Actually, there's two different ways. So put it on pause. Let me get my pump. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to make sure that I've got plenty of fluid up here in my reservoir. Oops. And as long as I'm good, I'm going to go ahead and put a little extra in it because this is for educational purposes. Okay. Looks like it's holding. Good, good, good. Now, what I've got here, my apparatus is, I have this return line right here, and I have a Mityvac pump pumped on it. Okay. Now, as you can see right here, I just went ahead and gave it a quick test run. Waste not, want not, right?
Looks like it did anyway.
Looks like it did anyway. Oh well. So now we want to see if we're actually getting air into the system or getting air out of the system, because this is what it's about. Now, right here is the plugged end of it. So anything, any of the air we should see bubbling out. You seen any water yet?
It definitely moved. It's not pouring out of it yet, but it's moving.
Wow. See all that air? See the air bubbles?
Yep, we sure can. Definitely with you moving them. And that will run it hot.
It's slowing down now.
Do you see any now, guys?
Water is still up there. It's not
Okay.
moving at the moment. Nice and
So
still.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pop this right here. Because what we're looking for is a nice, steady stream. And keep in mind, up here's what we're looking at. Have we still got plenty of water?
You do.
Alright, so I've got a little bit of siphon going. Alright, I'm going to start letting it out. Now look right here. We're looking for any air bubbles coming through here.
So far, so good.
Looking nice and steady to you guys?
Yep. Reservoir's nice and still.
Here comes some bubbles.
Oh, yep.
There goes some bubbles
See,
coming
guys,
out.
he's even got my mom learning this stuff.
It's just Volkswagens are kind of tricky, and you know, everybody's like, well, it self-burps itself, blah, 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 but you know, I don't know about you, but all that stress of it jumping up there, 250 degrees, blah, 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 you know, all that crap, I'm out.
Yep.
So I would rather just go ahead and have a nice, what appears now that we have a real nice, looking at it right there, see a few small, very little air bubbles, but it's steadily pouring out. Looks like we're keeping a nice.
It's nice and still in the reservoir.
Alright, so I think I've let it run long enough to where we should have got the air bubbles out. As long as the heater core is wide open, which I'm sure you just did, right? Just say yes.
Yes, of course.
Of course the car girl did it.
The car girl.
Alright, I'm calling it bled. Now there's another way to do this, guys. This is round 2. First you could have just sucked on it and spit.
But I don't personally recommend that method since it is coolant. It's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, this stuff isn't that great to, you know, drink or anything, so I mean, maybe she's right about that. Now there's the next step to do. You put this back on. Okay, so what I'm going to do next to get the flow going, see the water is going to pump it, and I'm just basically going to, you see what I'm doing here? I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to hold it and let the water pump up a little bit where it's a little bit higher. Then I'm going to release, and basically that's going to cause the suction back into here once the water pump's going. Kind of forces it out. Also, I have the vehicle elevated as well, which is definitely a plus. Could we fire up it? Could we have fire in the ignition, please?
Yes, Mom would be happy to do that. If she has a key. Let me put it on pause and find the key.
Thank you for starting the car. Okay. Let me see the camera from this angle. Okay, guys. So just on the bottom of the screen right there, you see, right where I'm pointing at, you should start seeing some flow. That's where you're going to see the flow coming in and out of. So give me just a second and I'm going to start working it to get the siphoning going. So it works in your car. All right, here you go. pumping it up right here. I can kind of feel it in there. Okay, I'm trying to get a good steady stream. Now, we know that it's already got, we already know the air's bled out because I just did it. But that's how you would do it. You see, you just sit there and you can pinch it, let it go. Hold on, let me put my air pump back on. It don't seem to want to shut up.
There you go.
There you go.
Wasn't happy.
It wasn't happy. Alright guys, so I guess the next thing that comes into play when you're doing this job, some things you want to kind of pay attention to. If your heater is circulating correctly, you see this hose right here? It's going to start to get warm because see it's return lining right here, and this right here is where it's pumping it back into the heater system. And if you look down here, see that sensor? Right down there is where it's feeding it right back into the heater line. So it comes in here. You'll start feeling this. I can already feel the temperature change on that. Here, you want to feel it real quick? See, just trying to teach you something here real quick.
Oh, definitely.
So you feel it getting warm?
Yeah.
And basically the circulation's starting, so we know we got a good water pump. Now I want to take a second real quick and tell you guys how you know if you actually have air in this system, if you're fighting a losing battle or whatever the case is. First, definitely check for leaks. The second thing, the first hose that's going to get really hard, see right here, I'm pinching it. This hose right here should be soft and pliable. It'll eventually warm up. This one right here, hold on, pause. Okay guys, so right here, when the car gets to 195, which is operating temperature for this right here should get warm. I think that was a fan that just tried to kick on. But anyway, right here is a, right here's your tall tale sign. So you want your car to get to 195. Actually, it should take you about 10 minutes before this one right here gets warm. But pay attention to it when it's cold because there's no air buildup in it. And if it gets warm and really, really hard to push, then that's where your air is coming from, and you need to kind of stop your process and reboot, come back over here and rebleed again. The next thing that's kind of important, because we're kind of dealing with this whole radiator overheating issue, right here's where your thermostat's at. You see it? Now, a lot of people, if this bottom hose never gets hot, that means the radiator, I'm sorry, that means the, editor, please help me out. Thermostat. The thermostat gets stuck and it's not opening up to allow it. That's alright. There's two bolts. There's a 10 millimeter here where my finger's at. There's one underneath it. You pull it out. Now check this out, camera. Alright people, so when you pull that thermostat out, the water pump propellers are right here on the side and they're made out of plastic. So you want to put your finger in there and just kind of feel the blades to make sure that, you know, they're kind of nice and solid. And just because they check out good doesn't mean your water pump's necessarily great, but it's a good sign that they're all there. If in fact you're missing one, stop the press right there. You need a water pump. Now, this right here pumping, this right here being hot is a good sign that your water pump is working, okay? This is hot, that means your water pump's circulating. Things should be good. What other thing else do I need to tell them about on the...
I think you.
Okay, guys, and always let this thing run for about 15 minutes with this off, or you can just kind of put a, you know, one screw in it and it'll vent itself. And like I said, make sure you use a 50-50 diluted flush. And just for giggles, why don't we just go see what the temperature's reading?
That's what I was going to say. Why don't you tell them about how long
the computer
they
works
have.
And the fans. I'm getting ready to do a video on the fan relay, because that's also a little bit of a tricky one if you don't know about this particular vehicle and Volkswagens and how they do it. But so I'll save that for that in a second. Meanwhile, let's go take a look at the computer.
Okay guys, so we're inside of the car now. We've got our computer hooked up, and as you can see, we've got a temperature at 162 degrees.
And this right here is good and safe. This is exactly what you want. You want a slow acceleration up on the heat. Like I said, it should take it a good 15 minutes with circulation for it to even come up to temperature.
What would you say the max is that they would want to see this car get to?
You know, if you're in city driving, you're probably looking at, you could probably creep on up to 215, 220 without realizing it. But generally speaking, a little Bug or Jetta or whatever running around, just a normal day, anything around 200 is probably good. The thermostat opens at 195, so the fans don't even kick on to way up there. I think it's like in the 250 range or something. Like, it's extremely hot before the fans kick on. Which brings another good question. If you have AC, you can turn around and turn the AC on just to verify that your fans are working, and they should come on. But anyway, that's another video. Put that on pause and we'll tell everybody. So anyway, guys, you heard it first right here on the Car Man's channel. Just a little closer look at the apparatus you were just telling me during the break. This is for my max pump. You can just put one of these in there so it creates a little suction. You can just siphon it with your mouth, or you can actually use the pump, which I prefer to do in case you actually get some in your mouth that doesn't taste that great. But hey, what do I know?
Nor is it that healthy.
Nor is that healthy. So, editor, what else am I supposed to say at the end of my channel?
You are supposed to tell them to...
That I am fabulous.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway, you're supposed to tell them to support Homefront Hugs USA.
Homefront Hugs USA, support your troops. Don't be a deadbeat. Get off the freaking couch and send something to somebody else.
It doesn't take much.
Nope.
Just anything to let them know they're not forgotten.
And Jennifer is going to be in Las Vegas in July for a national competition.
Yes.
For Miss United States.
Miss Woman.
Miss Woman United States.
And I get to tell them all about Homefront Hugs.
And can you believe the pageant queen from the Car Channel is going to Las Vegas? But hey, stranger things have happened. Hook up, sign up,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Be on the watch for our website. We have a website being built.
It's going to be bad to the bone. Can I get a beer now?
No.
Okay.
Tell him just got to get back to work with the next videos.
To the next video. Peace.